How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific 3 Eastern, Sundays 3 Pacific 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And yes, it is Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday on the show. Don't shut it off. It's not a replay. Thursday on the show today. It was a very busy Wednesday because, as expected, we have a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Kenny Omega beat MJF as I had predicted, and I think many people predicted, although yesterday there seemed to be a lot of people thinking there was some swerve coming up or some... Nah, this was the pay-per-view match, and they moved it up to TV. Exactly why, I don't know, but they did. And they did the title change that was originally going to take place at Redemption, where, in fact, Kenny Omega was going to get his redemption, which, in fact, was originally why the pay-per-view was named Redemption. He got his redemption on TV last night. And we'll tell you what's coming up for, well, we don't know much about the pay-per-view, but we know a lot about Wembley, so we can tell you about that. We also got a lot of other news as well to get into here today. We got SmackDown coming up on Friday, how that show is doing, WWE and tag teams. We got AEW deals at some point coming due. Other people have re-signed with AEW. And plenty of other news. Lance Storm is going to join us on the program here today, and you are welcome to join us as well. You can text me, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline at gmail.com. F4WOnline, Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. Have you gotten a Cameo of late? If not, what are you waiting for? And I'm at Bryan Alvarez on X and Blue Sky. You can subscribe to me on X as well. It's where you get most of my tweets, quite frankly. And a lot of news went up for X subscribers today. We'll be talking about it here. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Chat GPT, SmackDown review starring Filthy Tom and Bryan Alvarez.
Welcome back, you miserable wretches, to another disaster of an episode of Figure 4 Daily, the only show on the internet that's guaranteed to make your brain rot faster than watching one of these SmackDown episodes. I'm your host, Filthy Tom Waller, joined by the man who somehow manages to be more useless than a rubber knife in a prison fight, Bryan Alvarez. What's up, Bryan?
Let's not pretend you're the shining star of this operation. You're like a broken pencil. Pointless. And I don't even know I'm still here with you. Anyway, let's get to this train wreck of a SmackDown. Spoiler alert, if you were expecting a wrestling show, you've come to the wrong place. It was like watching someone fall asleep in real time.
You should know all about falling asleep, Bryan, since you've been half dead for years now. If enthusiasm was an Olympic sport, you would get a participation medal for showing up, but still lose.
I could tell the crowd was hyped for Drew, and Nakamura's music is always a banger, but it was just nothing. It's like watching a 5-minute commercial for a product you don't even want to buy.
And I bet the only thing that was more uninspiring than this match was your entire existence. Let's move on before I fall asleep right here on this microphone.
Tom, you think because you're a former fighter, that makes you a wrestling expert? You'd probably lose in a match with a traffic cone. Look, Jade's a star, but Liv Morgan, she's the human version of a please wait screen.
Liv Morgan is about as useful as a sandbag at a swimming pool party, who's like trying to make a turkey sandwich with no bread.
It's like the crowd went from yay to who's got the remote. Can we change the channel?
Liv Morgan's biggest move is making the audience wish for better things. She's like the human version of a wet sock. Nobody wants it.
I get it, Tom. You don't like fun. You don't like energy. You don't like anything that's not just sitting on your couch in your pajamas complaining.
More of the same.
Oh, we're back to more of the same, huh? Just like your wrestling career. More of the same, but somehow still a disaster.
Well, that's it, folks. SmackDown 2025 was more like SmackDown 2005. Same old stuff, same old disappointments. Join us next time when we tear apart something else for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, next time, Tom, maybe we'll actually have some real wrestling to talk about instead of whatever disaster this was. Until then, just remember, don't listen to Tom and don't watch SmackDown. Unless you hate yourself.
Whatever. It's your funeral.
What? I've never been so embarrassed doing this show as I was for the last 5 minutes. God. Making the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance is joining us here today. We got a lot to talk about today. What's up, Lance?
Just dealing with the heat here in Calgary during Stampede.
How hot is it?
We've been hitting into the 90s, but just.
Wow.
But that's hot for here.
That's actually hotter than it is here. And we don't got a Stampede here, other than the usual.
Greatest outdoor show on earth, they claim.
Is that right?
That's the tagline for it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
how it's branded.
I'm a little skeptical it is the greatest outdoor show on earth. But hey, who knows? I haven't been there. All right. We got much to discuss here today. So, coming out of last night's Dynamite, everyone knows how I'm always right. I never get like, hey, great job, Bryan, you were right. What's with people? I told you guys what was going to happen last night. And everybody came up with all these wacky ideas about, maybe they'll go to a draw, maybe they'll do a DQ, maybe they'll.
Thank God they didn't go to a draw. That would have been a long show.
I mean, listen, guys, they had the stipulation for this match that they were going to have for the pay-per-view match. Kenny has to either win or he can never challenge again. So, why would they do some wacky finish and then go to the pay-per-view and do the exact same stipulation a second time? If they were going to do a match to lead to this match at the pay-per-view, then they would have just done the match, then you do the screwy finish, then Kenny, because it was a screwy finish, wants a rematch, and MJF says, no, I will only do it at the pay-per-view if you put your... It's like, they didn't do any of that. It was like, this is the pay-per-view match, it's on TV, with the stipulation. I mean, sometimes I'm baffled, but that's what happened. Kenny Omega won the title. He is the new champion. For reasons I cannot explain, it's been bumped up 2 weeks. I don't know what they're going to do at Redemption. And it is now Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay at Wembley. And, I mean, I suppose anything could happen. Somebody could get hurt. Somebody could whatever.
Oh, don't even say that, dude.
But I mean, unless that happens, everybody, can you please take my word for it now? We're not going to get some three-way, some four-way, It's Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Wembley. That's the match. They may do something at the pay-per-view to try to steer you to think that maybe something else. The match at Wembley is Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Okay? Tanahashi also lost his belt to Fletcher. Tanahashi is on his way to the G1.
Takeshita,
yeah. He's on it. Well, Tanahashi's as well.
He wasn't in the match, though.
But he's on his way there.
Well,
but yes, Takeshita is he's on his way to the G1. And I guess Tony just didn't want the international champion losing a bunch of matches in the G1, which I could have sworn I said last year. And people were like, well, Nick Wayne went with the Ring of Honor title and lost matches. Well, that's the Ring of Honor TV title or whatever the hell he had. This is the international title. It is now on Fletcher, and Takeshi will be gone for a while. Again, as I told you all yesterday, Willow won the women's gauntlet. And, hey, listen, guys. This one I cannot say 100%, but, I've called all of this, so I'm 99% sure. It is Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes at Wembley. I believe that's always been the match. My theory is that the original plan was that Mercedes was going to return and beat Tekla at this upcoming pay-per-view. Willow was going to win the Owen, and it was going to be Willow challenging Mercedes for the title at Wembley. However, Willow got hurt, which we'll talk about in a moment. And because Willow got hurt, the only way to get to the same match that Tony wanted was to do a trade in the storyline where instead of Willow winning the Owen, Mercedes won the Owen. Instead of Mercedes beating Tekla, Willow is going to beat Tekla, and you somehow get right back where he wanted at Wembley, which is Willow and Mercedes for the title. So
maybe Redemption was named so for Mercedes.
It might have been as well.
She had all those belts but never managed to win the big one. She lost all those belts, and this was going to be her redemption.
Very, very well could have been that, Lance. Correct. Could have been a few people all getting their redemption on that show. But that is what happened last night, and I believe that's where they're going. I realize, and actually, you know, I kind of half made fun of this, but I do want to defend AEW in the sense that, yes, 1 week ago, they determined the new TBS champion, which Willow had vacated due to injury. And then a week after the new champion was crowned, she just came back. So there was no reason to even strip her if you look at the timeline. However, I can tell you this. This was a legitimate injury. I know that last night some people were questioning it because of the timing, but she did really get hurt.
I think even the commentators did.
Yeah, actually, Tekla did. Man, Tekla, I don't know what she was drinking last night, but whatever it was. But anyway, Tekla questioned whether she was really injured. Yes, Willow was injured. What I believe happened is that she was injured, and it probably appeared like, I mean, this is not something where she's going to be back in a few weeks. But they didn't know if it was going to be like a really long time or a long time. Because sometimes when you get, and Kyle Fletcher actually was like this. When Kyle Fletcher, what did he have? Like it was a dislocated shoulder, a torn labrum. He did something. And it was one of those injuries where, all right, this dude's going to be out for a while. But will he be able to rehab it and come back in 3 months? Or will he need, so was his knee. Will he be able to rehab and come back in 3 months, or is he going to need surgery, in which case it'll be 9 months to a year? I presume that's what happened with Willow. It was a serious enough injury that they were like, we got to take the belt off her. She's out of the tournament. But exactly how long she'll be out depends on if she needs surgery or if she can rehab. And whatever it was, she was able to come back for this gauntlet, which was actually quite... they really lucked out, actually. But it was a legitimate injury. She really was hurt. And but now she's back. And then the only other big news out of the show, there was a lot of news, but Jungle Boy has re-signed. And I didn't see this, but apparently on the internet, there were people questioning whether he really, like his deal was really coming due, because it was, I guess, coincidental that right when his deal was about to expire, they do a video package announcing he's re-signed. Well, that's exactly what happened. His deal was up. I don't know exactly when, but I was told, like, the way it was explained to me was he'll be free in about the amount of time that Sammy held that title. So, 9 days? But he ended up re-signing, and he is back with AEW. That is all legitimate. So, those were the big things coming out of Dynamite. And we will we'll review Dynamite later. In general, since we have a minute, Lance, what did you think of Dynamite?
The usual. There was some stuff I liked, and then there was the things my cyborg brain as a producer
was
annoyed. Was annoyed by. Just inconsistencies and lightheartedness and things like that. But
I don't like lightheartedness. How dare they? What are you doing on this show?
Darby Allin was world champ recently, and now they're gimmicking his skateboard to shock and explode people up like he's Danhausen. Like, that just seems like a big step down to me.
There are too many bombs. And if we're being honest, I mean, this is one of Tony's flaws as a booker, and that is that a guy gets a title run, the title run ends, and then, like, he doesn't seem to care. Like, Darby hasn't cut one promo saying, I want the world title back. He hasn't cut one promo, vowing to become champion and wanting to go after whoever's the winner. Like, he's just moved on. It was the same thing that happened with Samoa Joe. It was like a year before Samoa Joe got angry about not being champion anymore. And I think people should be more upset, but that's just me. Back in a moment with all the rest of the news. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
I am going to channel the well-known, infamous roast of Bryan and Lance.
Oh, my God.
I vaguely remember this.
Lance was a champion in virtually every company he has appeared in. While he did hold the distinction of holding 3 titles, that angle fizzled out faster than his podcast, Killing the Town.
Wow. I now remember this utter disaster of a roast.
Let's get Lance a chair to sit in. And as we do, could we also bring someone up here to show him how to use it? I remember that chair shot. I don't remember who it was on, but
utter silence that this roast was met with.
Tom, at least I was smart enough not to do those chair shots again.
Bryan, besides me, there are others who I'm sure dislike you, like Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, but I think you're great, like a guiding light or a father, which is why I'm not surprised when you screw me every week. The best-selling author of The Death of WCW. He had just completed his new book, for which actually Lance Storm wrote the foreword, which is 3 more than most wrestling fans know.
Hideous. Atrocious.
It must be hard when you look so young. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had your grandma's jeans. But actually, if the camera panned down, I bet Lance is wearing them. Anyways, let's start the show. Carmelo went for the La Mystica. Andrade went for the Message.
It's actually not the La Mystica. It starts like a La Mystica, but the La Mystica is actually a submission, and he doesn't land in the submission. He just does the whole slam part and then jumps up.
Yeah, the La Mystica is a tilt-a-whirl head scissor into a Fujiwara armbar.
Into a Fujiwara armbar. The La Mystica is not the submission. Do not tell me.
I didn't say that was a submission. I said the La Mystica involves the tilt-a-whirl facebuster into the submission. The whole thing. Why are you so angry?
Well, you just changed what you said live. Right?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't land in a submission. He just slams them. So it's not a La Mystica.
I believe that's the actual move.
Okay,
but
whatever. Who cares?
I just hope Editor Sean pulls up the exact clip of you saying La Mystica's a submission and then denying it afterwards.
La Mystica is actually a submission. I didn't say that was a submission.
La Mystica is actually a submission. I didn't say that was a submission.
Editor Sean.
Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance is joining us here today. Well, what do we got to talk about? SmackDown is tomorrow, and we've been doing updates on ticket sales for all of the shows. And this Oklahoma City SmackDown, not doing good. This is the return of CM Punk to SmackDown as new champion, and they're at 5,900 tickets. So they ran the same building 7 months ago, November 24th, and did almost 10,000. They did 9612. So they've got 4,000 less tickets out 7 months later in the same building. So that's not exactly great.
Waiting for those last-minute discounts.
The Raw show on Monday, however, did well in Chicago, 12,493. So, yeah, kind of weird. They're actually, what's funny is in 2026, they're actually, for the Raw show, And this is like, I had that big argument with Dave a while back about these Netflix numbers and how I just don't buy these Netflix numbers. They just don't make sense. And if you look at the Netflix numbers, like allegedly, Raw is doing the worst it's ever done. Like multiple all-time lows. Like, you know, he's claiming like 700,000 people watching the same day, whatever. And somehow, despite doing all-time record lows, I mean, their attendance is up year over year. Their average attendance in 2025 was 11,515. 11,515 for every Raw show. And here in 2026, they're now averaging 12,493. So, like, Raw is hotter. Like, in first, like, people buying tickets, and these tickets aren't cheap. It's not like, hey, we don't watch the show, but they're coming to town and it's cheap. I mean, they're buying expensive freaking tickets for Raw in larger numbers than a year ago. So, I don't know whatever this means, but...
Well, I think perhaps part of it could be attributed to my biggest complaint. I find the show very hard to watch because so much of it is about fan interaction, playing with the fans in the building, egging on those chants, making it interactive with the people sitting in the seats. I find the show more about the people sitting in the seats than it is about entertaining people watching at home. So maybe people want to go and be involved in the interactive experience, but watching it at home, you get too many damn commercials, you get too many stand there and egg on crowd chants, that it's not as good of a television product.
Well, the only argument that I would make about that is I don't think there's more commercials on Raw than any other show. I mean, there's tons of commercials. Actually, I will say this. AEW does have less commercials than WWE, and I don't know if that's just WWE has way more sponsors or what, but with AEW, they have fewer breaks, and the breaks are shorter.
Yes, but you're used to commercial breaks when you watch a television show. You're not as used to watching commercial breaks on a Netflix show, especially when you pay for commercial-free Netflix, so it's more annoying.
Well, that is true, but I think most people that watch Raw feel like they're watching a television show regardless of the platform. I could be wrong. I would prefer no commercials.
But I can DVR a television show, and I zip through those commercials, and it's easy. But on Netflix, you got those unskippable commercials that you can try to skip, but then it changes your viewing, and it freezes up. It's like, it's a different process.
What are you watching on?
I watch it on my iPad.
iPad? I've found the secret to getting through those commercials on my iPad. Do you use your finger to scroll past them?
No, I tap.
Don't tap.
Sometimes it'll let me pass them, but then sometimes it jumps back into the middle of the show, and it's infuriating.
Yeah, if you use your finger to scroll forward, sometimes you'll have to back up a little bit, but you go through them like that. Try that next time.
Will do.
Use the.
And I'll report back.
What do they call that? What do the young people call it when you put your finger on it and move it? What's that called?
You drag it?
Nah, it's like a word. We clearly got no young people on the chat right here. Swipe? No, it's not swiping. You're scrubbing? What's it called? God.
Scrolling?
Doesn't matter.
No, it's not scrolling either. No, now this is going to drive me crazy.
Well, it's a short drive.
Okay, so you know on a video, there's that little, you hit the thing and there's a line on the bottom and there's a little ball where you're at, and then you put your finger on the ball and you move it. What is that technique called? Anybody know? Maybe it doesn't have a name and I can come up with my own name. No, it's not balling.
That's something different.
That's something, it's not the electric slide. It's not pushing your ball.
The electric slide.
It's not scrumbling. Nobody knows what this technique is called. Jeez. It's got to be scrubbing, isn't it? Lance, talk about
no, just
the Calgary Stampede. I'm going crazy.
Well, you were crazy before you started. We don't need to talk about the Calgary Stampede. We've got wrestling to talk about. And apparently SmackDown needs to sell some tickets.
What's it called when you drag the little ball on the bottom of a video? The little ball or dot is officially called a playhead. When you drag it back and forth, it's scrubbing! That's what I said!
Oh, good for you.
I told you I was always right. Scrubbing. You gotta scrub it, Lance. You hear me? When you have a problem with your little ball, you gotta scrub it. Now, Where was I? Oh, yeah, WWE is looking for tag teams. What a shocker. I was specifically told tag teams cheaper than the New Day. So anyway, they're out looking at indies and such.
They're looking for some six-figure tag teams.
Yeah, well. We've got Queen Aminata went online to note that I know you hate when people argue with people on the internet, but golly, you ever notice it when WWE does what I'm about to say? People are up in arms. But when this same thing happens in AEW, nobody says a word. Queen Aminata revealed that her contract is up soon, but it is being extended due to injury. I signed with AEW 3 years ago. I'm almost at the end, which is February. But there's injury time. I don't know how long that's going to be. Injury time added to the contract of Queen Aminata. So no one knows when she will be free, including Queen Aminata.
Yeah, that's the one issue I have with the added time. It's like, to me, the employer should have to declare the amount.
Yeah,
like,
you should know how long.
Yes, they should say we're adding 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is, so that you as an employee has a clue and has the ability to plan your future because you know you're going to be around for X number of months.
And you know the other thing about it is, when people do get angry about the added injury time in WWE, it's always like, it's always the assumption that the person wants out. And I think that's why people get mad. But when you think about it, when you think about what this actually is, okay, let's say that I work for WWE as a wrestler, and I'm perfectly happy with that, okay? I tear my ACL, and I can't wrestle for a year. Well, what that means is they're going to pay me for an entire year where I am not wrestling. I'm sitting at home and cooking picanha and doing whatever, recovering. I'm getting paid my full salary that entire time. And then when I return, I have another year of that full salary added to my deal. This is not something to complain about. Unless those rare exceptions where somebody wants out, but injury time has been added, and they let the world know this, and then all of a sudden this is an evil company that is trapping people against their will, even though you signed the contract. The contract says your contract can be extended in the case of injury. You don't take it to your lawyer and say, I want this clause. You just sign it, and then you end up complaining about it later. So,
although I do think that the company should have to state that at the end of your injury.
Sure.
Not wait till 2 days before your contract and go, yeah, we're going to add.
Well, I mean, it should just be known that however long you're gone, that's how much will be added. And when you come back, like the day you come back, they say, hey, you've been gone 400 days. We are adding 400 days. The new end date is now X. But, like, nobody seems to ever know when their contract is up, and I don't know how.
Well, I can see in AEW in particular being that there's a lot of shows you're never on, and it's like, if you're off injured, it's like, did they take the time that I was away, or did it take from when I was declared injured or when I got injured? Like, there's a little bit of gray area there as far as diagnosis and when you're cleared, perhaps. But you should have a ballpark idea.
Well, it should be, the only time that should be added is when they could use you, but can't. If they could use you, but don't, injury time should not be added. So, for example, like the greatest example would be Britt Baker. I don't know when her deal is up. Let's say her deal is up. Let's say her deal is up today. Okay, there was a period where she was out injured. She had the mini stroke, and there were some issues. Okay, whatever the time frame was when she wasn't cleared to when she was cleared, yes, that time could be added. But all this time that she's been
those other 3 years, not so much.
No, the other 3 years where they could call her tomorrow and bring her in, but they don't. Or she doesn't want it, whatever the deal is. I mean, she could. So you can't add that time to the end. If they decide not to use you, that's on them. If you are unable to be used, that's when it's on you. And those are two different things. All right, when we come back, we'll do Dynamite. And Did you watch, by the way, any of NXT?
I did not watch any of NXT.
You should have watched that Kendall Green Natty match. Loved it. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's gotta be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is it even ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't.
Let me in! Let me in!
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock. Battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm.
Do you think?
But it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
In there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Anybody out there use Google Chrome? It sucks. Like, it works great, except like every 5 days there's that click to update. You have to restart the browser. And so I clicked update, and every time, like, something no longer works afterwards. It's like, what are we updating here? I can't even get onto my own website right now. Just spinning ball of doom. Anything involving my website. Classic. All right, whatever. Chrome, fix it. Can't even concentrate. I just get more and more hot. Oh, the board works. Of all things, the board is working. All right. Kenny Omega opened up the show in a hotel room and vowed to win the title. He noted it was 102 degrees. Asked if Max had ever had a match in heat like that. It was hot.
They were sweaty, boy.
Dude.
They were sweaty.
I heard from multiple people, fans and wrestlers, and they were just like, It's freaking miserable. And these are just fans. Like, the wrestlers themselves were just absolutely in misery throughout this show. It was hot and humid. A double whammy. We opened up with Ciampa and Jericho, which that was a very good match. They brawled all over the place. My only question is why they were allowed to brawl all over the place and like do all sorts of crazy stuff, but then they had to distract the referee for sand at the end. That was kind of weird. But Ciampa threw sand in his eyes and hit him with the running knee, got the pin, and then they did an angle afterwards where he tried to drill a hole, presumably in Jericho's head. I mean, I can't verify, but all the geeks ran down to break it up. Lobotomy is not allowed. And there's some good action here. Jericho did some crazy stuff for a guy who was, what is he, 55 now?
Yeah, he'll be 56 in November.
He did the Randy Savage.
That pedigree on the steps.
Oh, that was brutal. But, I mean, to me, that Randy Savage double sledge off the post to the floor and landing on 2 feet, I'm like, this guy's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. I wouldn't do that in 1,000 years. And I got pretty good knees. But I wouldn't after that. The Brawling Birds are back. They're probably facing Megatron or whatever their name is at Wembley.
Megatron.
Will's interviewed outside, and up walks MJF, and they get into a big argument, and Max ends up spitting on him, so Will attacks him. They have a huge pull apart. I'm pretty sure this was done, A, to make you think that Max was winning in the main event, and B, since he's not winning, to set up a match, presumably after Wembley, for the title, once Will wins. We had Takeshi and Fletcher for the international title. This match was pretty good, although it was a great match. But these two guys, I mean, I think they could have a much better match than this. And
when it's not 110 degrees.
God, it was so hot. And, like, for those of you who don't remember, about a week ago, in fact, it was a week ago, because it was the Collision tapings last Wednesday. You know, all these fans start freaking out because, you know, in the middle of this match, like, Kyle took a bump, I guess, to the floor, and then he went into the ring and barfed, and, you know, everybody was kind of checking on him and everything like that, and so everyone figured he had a concussion or whatever. And, you know, I was told, nah, he's totally fine. He just appeared to be dehydrated. And so he comes out for this match with a giant water bottle, and he begins drinking the water bottle and saying, we must stay hydrated, and then Takeshita kicked the water bottle out of his hand. So Takeshita lost. He's off to the G1 with Tanahashi, and I liked it. Thought this match was great.
Post-match was a touch long, but yeah, the match was good.
With old Foley, touch long.
With everybody, when you go from the end of this match till the Darby electrocution spot, it was a long time.
Now, let me get this straight. You didn't watch Raw because you weren't on the show Tuesday?
Correct.
You didn't see the Seth Rollins promo?
Wait a minute. We did the show Tuesday.
No, we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with Tom, and then you did Thursday, Friday.
All right. It was last week when I was on the road that we did it, yeah.
You would remember this Seth promo, I think. This one was not nearly as long. It was Foley out there. It looked like they were building up Foley and Don, kind of. Which I never knew I needed to see that match, but I actually might. And then Andrade came out, and he wants his. And then this was kind of weird. Don goes, Andrade, I'm sick of you yelling about belts. So, if you can beat Jake Doyle next week, you can get a shot at Mark Davis for the national title. And I don't know if fans are, like, satisfied with this, but I was just like, you got to beat Jake Doyle to face Mark Davis for the national title. That's a big step down for Andrade in his world title hunt. And then
you skipped that Kevin Knight was part of this promo too.
Well, I can go back to that. But then the other weird thing is then later they announced that Mark Davis is defending his title on Collision. It's like, you got 500 belts. That's the one you have to defend right after you shot an angle where another guy might get it. It was weird. And yes, Kevin Knight was out there as well. He's teasing dissension. I think Kyle's turning babyface probably at some point. Maybe sooner rather than later. Although in AEW, sooner rather than later could be like 9 months from now. We had the exploding skateboard. You don't like those exploding skateboards?
Well, it just seemed that it was very convenient that they let Darby get beat up so the other guys could get the skateboard so that they could set off the explosion rather than just jumping them when they got to the back.
Well, quite frankly, part of Darby's plan. He knew if he went in there alone, he was going to get beat up. And he knew they would grab a skateboard. But what they didn't know was Andrade had the detonator. Do you guys know what this is now? Anybody? This is a criminal conspiracy. Because Darby is blowing people up with bombs every week, which is a terroristic act, and he has an accomplice who is assisting him in this. This is not right.
These are the baby faces.
What do you think of Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley versus the Workhorsemen going through a commercial break?
This is not how I would have booked this match.
Me neither. What a coincidence.
I would not have had Will Ospreay selling for the Workhorsemen.
No. I mean, it was fine and everything. Like, in a vacuum, it was fine, but, like, Will Ospreay's going to Wembley, guys. Be the top star and win the title. Why is he selling? Why is he laying on the mat, stuck in a chin lock? I like the Workhorsemen. I like them a lot as workers. This was the wrong match. And it did not need to go as long as it did, especially since the show went 20 minutes long.
And I thought Will came off second fiddle to Mox, which I don't understand. Mox got the big last entrance. Mox told Will to stand on the apron and started. Will sold. Mox made the comeback and got the pin. And I'm like, who's the future world champion face of the company here? I was confused.
We had the Women's Casino Gauntlet. It was there. Honestly, the star of the Gauntlet was Tekla on commentary. She appeared to have done a lot of drinking.
She may have had a beverage or two.
I don't think that if she came on this show tomorrow, she'd deny that. The match itself...
It's important to stay hydrated.
had very little heat. I'm not sure that's the best liquid to drink to try to hydrate yourself. If anything, that makes it worse. No heat for almost anybody, with the exception of they did like Thunder Rosa, and they did go crazy for Willow. And they did not overstay their welcome. As soon as Willow got out there, she pinned Julia and won.
Was Willow the only one that got a countdown clock?
Nah, I don't know if they put
I thought the others just had music.
It's possible. You might be right. I'd have to go back. I say this with all love. I did not care enough to check to see if there was a clock. I just watched it. I was just waiting. And then we had... Yeah, Speedball challenged Mark Davis. Does Speedball not work? Did he not watch the show? I thought it was made abundantly clear. Mark Davis defends if Andrade can beat that one guy. What do we need another match for in the meantime? And then we had MJF, Kenny Omega, AW title. Kenny loses, he can never challenge for the title again. They had one short commercial break in this near 30-minute match. And they did a pay-per-view main event. I mean, it was absolutely great.
And they were feeling the heat, brother.
Oh, my God. You should have seen these guys. I mean, hey, I got to give them all the credit in the world for working their ass off like this in 105-degree humid heat. And they pulled off everything, including stuff they shouldn't have pulled off, if we're being completely honest.
That Poison Rana looked like death.
Oh, my God. I don't know how Kenny is alive, dude. He landed...
either.
Him and Takeshita, when he took that top rope brainbuster. Both of them.
Top of his head, right on top of the turnbuckle.
Oh.
Wasn't his traps, it was the top of his head.
No. It is like everyone's like, well, it's a padded... It doesn't matter. You know what your spine is made of? A whole bunch of little bones. And you know what happens when you take those bones and you squish them all together? Is what happens. So, that's not good.
Thankfully, they appear to both be alive.
They did both appear to be alive afterwards, but we've said that many times.
And then in 6 months, someone's getting a neck surgery.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a great match, and they did kind of play up the MJF knee injury as part of the story. Max ends up... so at the end of the match, the referee, MJF gets the belt, and the ref says you can't use that. Goes to get rid of it, Max gets the ring. Will Ospreay then runs down, and he confiscates the ring. Referee's distracted, Kenny gets the belt. This is how he won the title as a heel, but he can't do it! And in waiting too long, he gets the low blow. Thankfully, not as bad as Maxine gave it to poor Dawkins. And then he hits him with the belt. Low blow, belt shot. Crowd's sure it's over. Kenny kicks out at 1. I will fight anybody who argues against the occasional 1 count in wrestling.
It just needs to be
Dude,
occasion, but this was the right time.
It was awesome. This place went nuts for that kick out. And then this dude, like, he kicked out. He didn't just kick out at 1. He, like, kicked out and he got on his knees and he starts doing the Hulk Hogan. And, man, this place went wild. And he actually fired up and threw the punches. But then he had 3 V triggers and a 1-winged angel, which Hogan never did. Got the title.
No, he did not.
It was...
Thinking of it is hilarious.
This match was awesome. And, yeah, I thought overall, I would say overall, you know, there's always things with every wrestling show, but, I mean, overall, I thought for a Dynamite, it was excellent. Excellent show. Awesome main event. And we now have a pretty clear direction to Wembley, which has ended up being the direction that I was expecting the entire time. Which is fine, because apparently it, you know, it's fooled a lot of people. So, you know, I guess sometimes I think the booking is too predictable, because you want your booking to be really good, and when your booking is really good, it's very predictable. But I do think that even when you're being very predictable, there should be something thrown in every now and then to keep people on their toes. And I hate Vince McMahon, but damn it, he could do that sometimes. And that was, I think that was one of the things, that was one of his rare strengths, was he knew how to keep you on your toes. And later he just...
Well, yes, but he also kept you on your toes by having like 10,000 things that never made sense.
Yeah, there was a lot that sucked at the end. But when he was at his best, it would be every now and then to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, when Pat Patterson was still there.
Yeah. But anyway, this, to me, I just feel is like, it's impossibly predictable. But then sometimes I go online and I read this or that, and it's like, people are expecting something totally different than what seems to be completely obvious. So, whatever works for you guys. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. It is the annual Christmas show. We have Big Vinny V as always, who's wearing a hat.
Can confirm.
Sean is here as always. He is not festive at all.
I forgot my hat.
Granny is here. Granny, what's going on?
Hello.
Craig is here, not festive at all.
Yep.
And we have Filthy Tom. Oh boy. Should we do shots now?
No.
I think I should probably watch this for a second. Oh my god. Granny is doing a joyride.
I thought they were going to be here.
A box of tissues. Clearly that was for Vinny.
Scotty's.
How dare you? Yeah!
Who is this? My guest?
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
John in Memphis is on the air, and he is hammered. I'm a cool guy, right? I'm invited to the barbecue. God damn it!
Merry Christmas!
I got sober up for this call.
Yes.
That's a girl.
Oh, is this Harley Cameron?
How
Love
did you
you.
know? I even put
I
on the
love you.
American accent.
It is? Everyone shut up.
Hold on.
You are the most talented performer in the entire business.
Yes, man.
What are you doing in pro wrestling?
First of all, you've been far too generous and kind, and I appreciate you.
I don't think I've ever seen Vinny that happy before.
Bro, ladies and
Yeah, I'm
gentlemen,
gonna open a prison.
welcome to the show today here with Filthy Tom Waller and the Goon Squad.
Tom, what are you doing?
I gotta pee.
Well, go pee then. Don't do it on air.
Hola,
Way to go.
Hola?
¿cómo estás?
Is this the Beast Mortos? Yes!
That could not go any better.
The Beast Mortos is here on the air. Beast, how you doing? He sounds very agitated, Vinny.
I'm starting to get the feeling this is not a live call with the Beast Mortos.
The Beast is short-circuited. No!
That's
García Moon!
¿Cómo estás?
What is happening?
Hello, Brian.
Is this Don Callis?
Rob is using the Meltzer star rating for his urinal visits. Just so you know, I'm 7 stars, baby.
Ah!
So that's it.
If it's 7 stars, I want to see it.
What? What do we got on old Impact tonight, Lance?
On AMC, 9 p.m., Zaya Brookside defends the Knockouts World title against Lei Ying Lee in a no DQ match. Hardys defend the tag team titles against the Great Hands. We have a 3-way tag match, The System, The Righteous versus Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa. We have 2 more matches in the opening round of the Knockouts TV tournament. We'll hear from Casey Navarro. King's Speech with Frankie Kazarian, guest is Moose. And then we will also hear from AJ Francis and Expressions. And if you're unaware who he is, because I was, he is a apparently very famous rapper from England.
I knew that. How do you not know that, Lance?
Well, see, I'm old and uncool.
What's his name again?
Expressions.
Okay. Well, that's tonight, everybody, on AMC. TNA Impact, which Vinny reviews on his Tuesday show. Is that right?
He does.
He finally got his stuff unpacked and was able to do a show this week?
Yeah, he reviews Impact and AAA.
Wow. Jeez.
He does 2 shows, yeah.
How about that? Earning his keep. Well, you can go check that out. Vinny and I will be back tonight for the AEW NXT review. Dynamite and NXT from Tuesday. Lot to talk about on those 2 shows. So we'll do that tonight. And then Lance will be back tomorrow as well for Fun Friday. And we got to figure out the schedule next week. Tom is he's over in Europe or something. He's going to do some shows via phone. But we got to figure out who, what, when, where, why, and how, as they say. And
I'm pretty flexible, so just let me know.
Will do. All right, thanks everybody for listening. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.